Clark, another long three. She's back!
One of the biggest names in the WNBA, a two-time MVP and a title winner, just stood there completely frozen. She smiled, shook her head, and had no words. She simply could not process what she had just seen, and honestly, no one could. The fans inside Gamebridge Fieldhouse went absolutely wild, like they had just won it all. It was one of those rare basketball moments that stopped everyone cold, drawing in fans, players, and sports legends alike. That single play went viral fast, pulling in over 786,000 views on social media within just a few hours.
Right side, now come back to your favorite spot again. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in her face contesting. Look at that reaction.
LeBron James, yes, that LeBron James, posted about it, recognizing just how big that shot was. ESPN kept running it back over and over. And for a short moment, every corner of the basketball world, from top NBA stars to everyday fans, had their eyes locked on Caitlin Clark.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from three.
Then the game itself told an even bigger story. This was not just any matchup. This was Indiana Fever taking on the New York Liberty. The Fever did not just win, they ran the game completely. A 102-88 victory over a Liberty team that had not lost, yet sent a clear message to the whole league. Caitlin Clark was not simply scoring. She was running the floor, lifting her team, and writing her name in the record books. The Fever played with focus, confidence, and full control. Clark was the engine driving all of it. So why did that one shot from half court cause such a massive reaction?
Two players with incredible
What was it about that play that made even the top players in the league stop and take notice? Because it was not simply a long three-pointer. It was a message. Clark's logo shot was a show of pure confidence, a signal that she was right where she belonged, among the best in the league. And it had people asking, is the Clark effect here for good? It all started with that one jaw-dropping play that left the whole arena silent, especially Breanna Stewart. Now, when you talk about the best players in the WNBA, Stewart is right at the top. A two-time MVP, a champion, and a player respected for her calm and collected nature. Stewart has been through everything this sport can throw at you. But when Caitlin Clark, only in her second season and coming back from an injury, stepped back from the logo and knocked down that three-pointer, even Stewart could not hold herself together. She smiled, let out a laugh, and shook her head in complete disbelief. That was not a normal sideline reaction. It was a rare moment where one of the greatest players in the game openly showed admiration for another. In that single second, Breanna Stewart, a player who has built her name on doing everything well, was openly saying that Caitlin Clark had just pulled off something truly special. It was not a lucky shot, and it was not just a casual attempt to test the waters. Everyone already knows Clark has always been able to shoot from that far out. But choosing to take that shot in that exact moment against an undefeated Liberty team in a game that carried serious weight, that showed a level of boldness that very few players ever carry, even veterans. Stewart's reaction was not just about being caught off guard, it was about respect. And Stewart, someone who has been one of the top names in this league for years, understands exactly what real greatness looks like up close. That smile and that slow shake of the head was her way of saying out loud, "All right, you are the real deal." That means something, because Stewart does not give that kind of reaction to just anyone. When she responds with that kind of awe, you can be sure that what just happened was truly out of the ordinary. But what made the moment even bigger was not just the shot itself. It was everything surrounding it. The Liberty had gone through the entire season without dropping a single game. They were the team every other squad was chasing, the measuring stick for everyone else in the WNBA. On the other side, the Fever were still working hard to show the league they could compete at that level. This was not a regular season game with nothing on the line. This was a proving ground for both sides. And Caitlin Clark, coming back after sitting out with an injury, had a whole list of questions hanging over her head about whether she was truly ready to step back into the spotlight. People were not sure if she could match the hype or whether the injury had taken something away from her game. Well, Clark did not simply answer those questions. She shut them all down completely. She was not thinking about pressure, expectations, or what was at stake. She just played the way she always plays. And that logo shot became the turning point that shifted the entire feel of the game. It was never just about the 2 points it put on the board. It was about the mindset Clark carried onto the floor. She looked at the best team in the league, the New York Liberty, who had not lost once, and made it clear she was not going to step aside. And by the time the final buzzer went off, her performance had shown the world that she was not just a scorer. She was a player who could completely change the mood of a game and swing it in her team's favor. It was not just a basket. It was the moment that showed everyone exactly the kind of player Caitlin Clark is, and nothing extra needed to be said. Stewart's reaction alone said it all. Under normal circumstances, Stewart stays locked in and keeps her feelings off her face during games. She is well known for staying steady and not letting the moment get to her. But even she had no choice but to show how much weight that moment carried. That is exactly what made it so hard to forget. The clip of Stewart grinning and shaking her head spread everywhere within seconds, and before long it had taken over every platform. ESPN even shared Clark's logo jumper on X, formerly known as Twitter, which only added fuel to the question everyone was already asking. Is Caitlin Clark already a once-in-a-generation player? During the live broadcast, some of the commentators went so far as to say out loud, Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player on the planet right now. And the more the conversation grew, the clearer it became that Clark was not just building towards something down the road. She was already delivering in the present. The admiration from Stewart, the energy from the crowd, and the attention pouring in from all directions all pointed to one truth that nobody could argue with. Caitlin Clark was taking control, and she was not done after just that one play. That long three-pointer was only the beginning. She kept going, kept pressing, and kept making her presence felt all over the floor. The Liberty's defense began to crack, and the Fever started to pull further and further ahead. By the time it was all over, Stewart may have smiled at that shot, but there was absolutely nothing to smile about when the final numbers went up on the board. Clark's play, combined with the way she led her team through every moment, turned the whole game into something that was never really close. Caitlin Clark's night was not just about putting the ball in the basket. It was about the way she handled herself every single time she did. It was a clear message. The Fever did not just hand the Liberty a loss. They told the rest of the league exactly where they stand. We are for real. The atmosphere inside Gamebridge Fieldhouse was through the roof, and that energy was not coming from Clark alone. The whole team was performing at a standard that put them right alongside the best in the league. Now, the way people talk about the WNBA has completely changed. It is no longer only about the Liberty running things or about Stewart's place in the sport's history. It is about Caitlin Clark's rapid rise and what that rise means for where this league is headed. She is someone who can walk onto a court and take full control of a game. And she is already proving that she did not come here just to compete. She came here to lead. And if anyone thinks this was just one good game that will not carry forward, think again. Caitlin Clark and the Fever are just now finding their footing. The confidence Clark brought to this game, paired with everything this team is capable of, makes them a squad that nobody can afford to overlook. So the real question now is, who in this league has an answer for Caitlin Clark and the Fever? Tell us what you think down in the comments. And if you're not subscribed yet, now is the time, because more weekly breakdowns are coming and this season is just warming up.